Telling me what I can do, what I can say, what I can think, who my heroes are supposed to be. Just get the off them.
Bill Maher just dropped a reality check on Drew Barrymore in his latest Club Random episode, and the internet is lit up. The no-holds-barred comedian cut through her weak talking points like butter, exposing the cracks in her arguments without even breaking stride. Of course, the woke crowd erupted in outrage, but Maher couldn't care less. His goal wasn't approval. It was delivering raw, unfiltered truth with the kind of heat that burns through all the fluff. And trust me, this was just the beginning.
Very discerning man. When it comes to a lot of things, you are.
It's a charitable word for it, but I appreciate it. Yes, I think I am. I mean,
I've watched you for decades go out there and speak your truth.
yeah.
I don't think there is anything that exists of the truth. It's your truth. And
There is also in life the truth. We may not always be able to discern it, but there is the truth.
Barrymore leaned on one of the woke mob's favorite lines: truth is relative. You've heard it before. The moment you hit them with hard facts, they retreat to the safety blanket of, that's your truth, let me live mine. Sounds deep, but really, it's just intellectual laziness dressed up as wisdom. The reality, facts and opinions aren't the same thing. Facts stand whether you like them or not. Gravity won't stop just because you find falling offensive. Opinions only hold weight when they're rooted in truth. Otherwise, they're just feelings floating in the wind. That's exactly where Barrymore's argument fell apart. It wasn't empowerment, it was escapism. And Maher wasn't about to let her slide.
It's very hard to be the one on either side to ever proclaim you know what it is. That is a dangerous thing to do.
Agreed.
We always need to hear, because we don't know. We're not God.
no,
Right.
no.
But it does exist, the truth. Not everything is just your truth. I mean, your truth has become sort of like code word for just whatever I feel like believing. Well, that's not really the same thing as your truth. You feel this way.
Yes.
Feeling is not enough. For me,
Bill fired yet another shot straight into the shaky core of the woke mob. Their entire game plan runs on emotions, not evidence. And when pressed, they scramble to cherry-pick fringe data that collapses the second you put pressure on it. Feelings are fickle. What you swear by today, you abandon tomorrow. You can't build truth, logic, or stability on a foundation that shifts with the wind. Yet somehow, this crowd insists on turning fleeting emotions into permanent, life-altering decisions. Like pushing kids into transitions before they even know their favorite color. It's reckless, it's dangerous, and Maher sliced through it like a hot knife. Because no matter how much spin they throw at it, truth doesn't bend to feelings.
It is such a taboo subject, the truth.
it is. Oh, and it gets you hated.
Oh, as soon as I said it, I was like, the truth, that there is no truth. I'm like, that doesn't work. You can't say things like that.
Here's where it gets brutal. Drew Barrymore's composure cracks right on camera. She thought she was flattering Maher by calling his words his truth. But Bill, sharp as ever, stopped her cold. There's no your truth or my truth. There's just the truth. That's when Drew completely froze. For a few agonizing seconds, she stumbled and sputtered, caught like a deer in headlights. That's what happens when woke ideology collides with reality. It doesn't just bruise, it breaks. Woke slogans might sound profound in an echo chamber, but the moment they're tested against logic and backbone, they crumble. Barrymore wasn't holding a conversation anymore. She was just gasping for air, while Maher reminded everyone why truth always steamrolls over feelings.
Just so refreshing. Like, you were doing this before it was so dangerous.
Still dangerous.
And it is just way too dangerous now.
Yeah.
But you're still doing it.
It's slightly less dangerous than it was 2 years ago because we did have a vibe change, and because the Democrats lost so badly in 2024.
Drew nearly slipped one under the radar, hinting that speaking truth today is somehow dangerous. Classic woke tactic: rebrand censorship as concern. But Maher didn't blink. He caught it instantly and shut it down before it could spread. That's the difference between sharp minds and compliant ones. We all remember what cancel culture did just a few years back. People lost jobs, reputations, even friends, simply for questioning the narrative. Fear replaced free speech. But times have changed. Thanks to Trump shaking the system and independent media breaking through, cancel culture is no longer a wildfire. It's a dying ember. And Maher's exchange with Barrymore proved it. People aren't scared to speak anymore. The truth is back on the table.
Is off the rose on left-wing censorship and, oh my God, you can't say that. Stop telling me what I can do, what I can say, what I can think, who my heroes are supposed to be. Just get the f off them.
Bill Maher took a moment to remind Drew Barrymore, and everyone watching, of something the woke mob loves to ignore: free speech. It's not a privilege handed out by cultural gatekeepers. It's a constitutional right, the cornerstone of America, and it applies whether or not your words make people uncomfortable. Maher cut right through the noise. If speech ever crosses into actual crimes, that's what courts and laws are for. But outside of that, speech should be free, raw, and unfiltered. That's the beauty of this country. We don't silence voices just because they sting. And we sure as hell don't hand mobs the power to treat hurt feelings like felonies. Maher's point was simple, but unshakable. Free speech means all speech, not just the kind elites rubber stamp. And that's why it has to be defended.
A lot of just what viscerally is going on with me when I have issues with the left. Just get the f off of me. First of all, I don't believe you. You're not better. You're a lot of posers. Not all of you, but just get the f off of me.
Well, that's what I like is you call people out from all different areas, and I don't even know how to address parties anymore.
Credit where it's due. Bill Maher has guts. Love him or hate him, he'll call anyone out, no matter their politics. That kind of consistency is rare in today's circus of double standards. Compare that to the mainstream media. Hammer the right for every misstep, but quietly sweep the left's disasters under the rug. That's not journalism. That's selective outrage, and people are sick of it. Maher refuses to play along. He'll scorch Republicans when they deserve it, but he's just as quick to hold Democrats accountable when they're spouting nonsense. That's why, even with the woke mob breathing down his neck, people keep tuning in. In a world of biased, spin, and corporate agendas, Maher's willingness to torch hypocrisy wherever he finds it is exactly what people are starving for.
Are ballsy enough to do those things. What is it that scares you or that you care about?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Cut! I was so riveted by the framing there. I was like, wow, who are we talking to? What was the question? What am I?
If you're ballsy enough to be brave enough to say your truths or speak to what you believe is the truth,
yes.
What scares you and what do you care about?
Oh, what scares me is a little bit me, that, at any moment you can say something that really in private conversation wouldn't upset anybody.
Yes.
But the snitches and bitches will be able to use it to attack and end you, which they did once on Politically Incorrect.
And this right here is the left's favorite double standard. Behind closed doors, they say whatever they want. They laugh, they joke, they share the same raw thoughts everyone else does. But the second someone dares to say it out loud, suddenly it's outrage theater. They clutch their pearls, mobilize the mob, and try to cancel the speaker into silence. It's never about the words themselves. It's about control. They want to decide who gets to say it, when it can be said, and how it should sound. If the wrong person dares to speak the truth, the mob descends. That's why cancel culture has always been a fraud. It's not morality, it's power. And every time someone stands up to it, the hypocrisy becomes impossible to deny.
Ended a few times,
right.
And I understand that it is real and it can happen.
Right. So, I always say, whenever I leave the house, not even to just do the show, just leave the house, I'm having dinner at a restaurant, but one of those rooftop restaurants. Because is it really dangerous? Not very, but you could fall off the roof.
Right.
When you eat at a normal restaurant, there's no danger of you falling off the roof. When you eat at a rooftop restaurant, there's very little, but it is possible You could fall off the.
For years, Democrats managed to turn this country into a nation walking on eggshells. They conditioned people to second-guess every word, every joke, every post, terrified that one slip could ruin their careers or reputations. They weaponized fear, forcing ordinary Americans to censor themselves, filtering every thought through the lens of political correctness, as if navigating invisible tripwires. And let's be clear, it was never about respect, it was about control. The self-appointed moral police on the left wanted obedience. They wanted silence. But now, Americans are done whispering. People are rebelling against the paranoia. We want to speak freely without waiting for the mob to pounce. That's why Bill Maher's exchange with Drew Barrymore hit so hard. It wasn't just a celebrity spat, it was a wake-up call. For too long, the left thrived on censorship, double standards, and fear. But those days are fading. Independent. Voices are rising. Cancel culture is on life support. Maher proved one thing: truth still matters. And when spoken boldly, it cuts through the noise like a knife. The facade is crumbling. The hypocrisy is exposed. And free speech is staging a comeback. One worth celebrating. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button, share this video, and let's keep fanning the flames of truth until the last embers of woke culture burn out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.